What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment here again with another one. Make sure you hit the like button, sub to that channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, in the aftermath of the of Game 2 of the NBA Finals, Jaylen Brown had came out and basically said that Draymond Green tried to pull a Dennis Rodman on him, and what I mean by that is he tried to pull his pants down. uh, that was that was a psychological tactic that was often used by Dennis Rodman. Now, I want to make sure that I let people understand that Draymond is not on the level of Dennis Rodman. Okay, let's just let's just make that clear. It's not trying to not right now. It ain't no point of knocking Draymond. Came out and said that he's a better version of Dennis Rodman. Absolutely not. First off, Dennis Rodman never got hurt. He always kept his body in tip top shape. What's up with it, Think Tank? I see you in the building. ATL in this bitch. I feel you. Um, that Draymond did um, come with the psychological tactics that he did. On the flip side, though, on the flip side, what I would say to Draymond, what I would say to Grant Williams, what I would say to Jaylen Brown, anybody that's sitting up there, talking shit. Look, if you're not gonna be ready for the get down, and you're not gonna be ready to dance, and if you're not gonna be able to, if you're not gonna be ready to pretend like you in that square circle, then it's just best just to take the take the Jordan Poole route or take the Clay Thompson route and just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I understand what he's doing. Look, I don't often agree with a lot of the antics that Draymond comes with. Okay, I know it could be irritating, but I understand why he's doing it. Okay, I understand. On every team, you're gonna have that particular player that is gonna get under the skin of not only the opponent, but they're also gonna get under the skin of the fans. They're gonna get under the skin of the officiating or of the officials. They're gonna get under the skin of the opposing coaches, and you need those type of players. The one player that comes to mind is of course Patrick Beverly, and I talked about this yesterday. But if we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dissect his history, then you need to mention, of course, guys like a Bill Lambier, of course D. Rod. I already mentioned him. Dennis Rodman. Uh, Rick Mahorn was notorious for that. That's why they called him. They had McFilthy McNasty. Uh, Trying to think who else. Lance Stevenson That just that was a couple of years prior, and Lance Stevenson is still he's still active as a player. He's just not playing in the NBA. Um, I'm trying to think, man, of some guys, man, that they would irritate the fuck out of you and just get on your nerves and get up under your skin. And yeah, yeah, NBA. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a psychological advantage, that the team has, because believe it or not, that's gonna that's gonna make guys be like, oh shit, damn, I gotta play against this motherfucker. What's up with it, True Viking Queen? I see you in the building. Um, that's gonna make guys be like, man, I don't want to play against these motherfuckers. I got hell to pay, man. I don't want to. I don't want to, man. I don't want to be against these motherfuckers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's just like kind of that irritating feeling that you're gonna be in for a long night, and if you're playing against them in the series, you're gonna be in for a long ass series because they're just not gonna stop. Hey, Gary Payton was like that. He was an irritant. He was a pest. He was a pest. He got on your nerves. Wouldn't stop talking. Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose. A lot of people now. He wasn't. I don't think he was. I mean, he probably was. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't as noticeable as the others. He probably wasn't doing as much dirty shit or whatever. But I'm talking about in terms of mental and just uh constantly just getting on your motherfucking nerves and getting up under your skin. Like Ron Artest. Ron Artest was like that. Would just get up under your skin and just to that point, man, where you just like, man, if you don't shut the fuck up, man, I'm finna slap you right now in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of players. You said low key irritants are folks like Reggie Miller. Yeah, Reggie Miller, John Stark, KG. Yeah, man, they're like, but KG just taught he was like, well, yeah, yeah, KG. I'll give it to KG because KG did, man. KG did talk a lot of shit. Would not shut up, man. Would absolutely would not shut up. Um, um, and this is street ball, but God rest his soul, Alamo, aka the Black Widow, my favorite street ball player of all time. I got him as my number one. God rest his soul. He talked a lot of shit, a lot of shit. Even Larry Bird, who I was talking about yesterday. Larry Bird talked a lot of shit. So yeah, about Lala, yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios and stuff like that. I mean, that's you got to be willing. You got to be willing to deal with that, man. And if y'all willing to throw hands and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, oh well. But KG was able to gain a psychological advantage. What's up with it, Sterling? He was able to gain a psychological advantage, and so is yeah, CP3 too. Yeah, CP3 was, he was dirty too in a lot of ways. But yeah, man, I mean, you got to have those type of players on your team that are willing. But see the thing that separated Dennis Rodman from Draymond, even though if Draymond, I'll take Draymond in a heartbeat on the Sixers, before I will Thibault. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest, like in terms of a defender. If they would have be like, hey, look, Draymond Green is not going to be able to play out of them guys on the court in terms of offense and as well as defense, but doesn't get the credit that he quite deserves. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, you're right about that think tank. That's excellent logic because you said irritants are needed, and that's pests are needed, man. Guys that get up under your skin, they are needed. I hate Boston as a city, as a franchise, but I hope they. Tank. Now I know you ain't. Look, now everybody been talking about that lately. Now I know you far from a LeBron fan and everything, but I I notice a shift. Um, a lot of people that can't stand uh or that don't like Curry and they don't want Curry to catch up with LeBron. I noticed a lot of people have been cheering for Boston. I noticed that. I noticed that, man. But I've I've liked Boston and what they've been doing since the second half of the season. Now I'm not gonna lie, the first half of the season, I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck. You said too comfortable with doing podcasts after every game with Colin Cowherd. Yeah, I mean that's what he wants to be in media. You see C.J. McCullough up there now. I don't know, man. C.J. McCullough don't look right being an analyst, right? I don't know. Every time I look at that motherfucker, man, he remind you of Stefan Urkel and shit, man. Like I can't take that motherfucker seriously. Yeah, but he doing podcasts. He do a good job at it though. I can't front, man. Draymond, he got a personality. See, when you step up inside that man, you got to be able to have a personality. You got to be able to. You got, of course, you got to have some intellect too. Yeah, Jaleel White and shit. Yeah, damn, Stefan Urkel and shit. Laura, hey, big guy. Yeah, man, I can't take that motherfucker seriously, man. But nah, I mean, I'm happy for CJ. I'm hoping he's not trying to. I think that CJ he's really getting prepared for the second part of his career, whatever. He doing it early or whatever. Because I think him going through what he went through in terms of the lung issue, I think that kind of woke him up. As a matter of fact, man, I think it woke everybody up. Really, it woke everybody up. But you knew who was fit for TV and you knew who wasn't. Like Charles Barkley, it was like, oh my God. See, they wanted Charles Barkley even though because he was so controversial. Like I keep telling people constantly, controversy sells. You know what I'm saying? People might look at it and frown upon it and shit, but guess what? You tuning in. Yeah, like you either tuning in because you absolutely really hate this motherfucker, or you really tuning in because you you really love what that guy has to say, or you like this guy's talking points and shit like that. 9 times out of 10, they tuning in to see what crazy shit Charles Barkley is gonna say. 9 times out of 10, they tuning in to see Shaq and Charles Barkley go at it. That's what they want to see. That's what drives the people in there and stuff like that. Do Shaq got a personality? Yeah, hell yeah, he do. He might, the way he talks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he still got a personality, but he's sensitive than a motherfucker though. That that nigga Shaq sensitive than a motherfucker, man. You say I can't lie, Draymond is good what he does. Yeah, as far as yeah, he is. Is the YouTube street content is king, aka. Yeah, man. But and see that's what I was talking about. I'm not gonna name his name because I ain't gonna give nobody no power. But there's a guy right now, man, that's up in there trying to do everything that he can to, um, stir up controversy and clout chase and do all this other shit or whatever. And you know, it works for you for a little bit, but if you don't have nothing else to talk about, guess what? You're not gonna be successful. If all you're doing is just talking shit about people, getting on here and then saying some shit, oh yeah, look at blah blah blah, and you just clowning that motherfucker for like 3 straight hours and shit like that. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but then people are gonna start figuring out, well, damn, do you? Some people, it's gonna slowly start happening. People gonna be like, man, do you have anything else to talk about? I mean, me myself personally, I think that shit is boring. Getting on there talking about another nigga or another female. Now, I'll talk about in reference to what's going on the in the sports world, or a particular player or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And lately he been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? This guy been talking about everybody. And then you'll be surprised behind the scenes. Guess what? That motherfucker just sitting back laughing. Ah, yeah, it worked. And I say it ain't nobody who you think it is. It ain't nobody like uh, within the LDBC or none of that shit. Nah, not at all. I'm talking about a guy that's really well known. Yeah, exactly, man. This motherfucker man want everything. But see, the thing about it is and I'll give you a hint who he is. Think Tank. If you go, shout out to my Texas boy out of H Town, urban politician. Shout out to Big Ant, man. I'll give you a hint. Think Tank. Uh, the brother Big Ant had put him on blast the other day. Go check his channel out, Urban Politicians, with the brother Big Ant. Matter of fact, man, he showed the whole young thug uh, bond trial. You know, very hard worker, man. Very hard worker, and salute to the brother, man. Big Ant. Uh, yeah, think tank. You an intelligent dude, man. I think you know who I'm talking about, because I'm just saying, like, ever since, man, it's kind of like this motherfucker want to be everywhere. Now, I mean, it's working, because guess what? Look. when a motherfucker like see you on YouTube, they be like, oh man, they debating on whether or not they wanna pull up on your channel or something like that, or pull up and hear what you gotta say. Then you be like, damn man, like it's like if you if you tune in, you tuning in to just talk shit about the motherfucker. It's like with Skip. People look at Skip Bayless, they like, man, shut the fuck up, Skip, or whatever. But they keep on watching them. Like with Nick Wright. They be like, man, Nick Wright, you full of shit. But guess what? They keep on watching them. Saying silly ass talking point with JJ Redick. Some people may not like the shit that he got to say because he turning into he's starting to turn contrarian now and shit. But he up in there saying shit, and people gonna be like, "Oh yeah, well, man, I can't stand that motherfucker JJ Reddick, man." Or with Pert, with Kendrick Pert, it's kind of like, damn, nigga, like shit. Why they put your ass on TV or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? You sit there, but motherfuckers, believe it or not, that's what generates ratings. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 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 yeah. Big Ant. Yeah, yeah. He yeah, he keep it 1,000, man. Like they try to get on that think tank, man, and they try to sit up there and say that Yak Gotti was a rat and was a snitch and all this other bullshit, man. I'm like, dog, you can't put that shit on motherfuckers, man. You can't. And I'm talking about in the comment section. You can't sit up there saying such and such is a snitch or a rat or anything without any type of paperwork, man. That's why motherfuckers be getting into the shit that they get into because they sit up there and they'll say, "Oh yeah, well such and such," with the whole Young Thug situation. They'll be like, "Yeah, such and such is snitch." Look, in order for you to be classified as a snitch or a rat, you gotta have paperwork, man, and it's gotta be a document. That shit gotta be black and white, or of course, the obvious thing is testifying against a motherfucker. And what's his name didn't do any of that, Yak Gotti. Matter of fact, he took his time like a G. Just like they said, like Pooh Shiesty. They said Pooh Shiesty, they tried to say that he was gonna do something. Guess what? Pooh Shiesty took his shit like a G. They tried to say that Casanova was gonna do some ratting and all that other shit. Guess what? He took his time like a G. Yeah, exactly. I don't, man. Look, I could get on this bitch and do all that shit that we talking about right now, think tank, just for clout, for views, for ratings, all this other shit. But I'd rather get on here, man, and be myself. For y'all to respect me to be myself and shit like that, and stray away from the drama and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Then to do that shit, like the motherfucker, Sammy the Bull was a rat. Yeah, absolutely, that's facts. But like now, you gotta wonder if motherfuckers, because that's what everybody was saying about this whole Young Thug situation. Now that everybody done got denied bond and everything, now you gotta wonder who's gonna be loyal and who's not gonna be loyal. Especially after the threats that were made, allegedly made or whatever. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, they had put in the documents that Young Thug had allegedly threatened to to kill uh anybody or anybody affiliated with them if they said anything, you know. And I know Think Tank, you from the A, you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes down out there. And let's just call it what it is, man. I mean, Young Thug was running shit. Now, you still gotta have evidence. I think like the evidence that they're presenting, uh this is all, some stuff they sit up there and they try to hype shit up. But when you got shit in there like the whole Donovan Lewis murder and everything, and then they saying that YSL was responsible for X amount of murders, and then they also saying about the cop getting shot, and then they also tried to say, he was making threats, to a mall cop. He's a cop now, but he was a security guard at the mall. Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Think Tank, exactly. That's why, like, shout out to LVZ. I remember one time he was saying, man, there's guys, there's guys that used to be into that life or whatever, and they might have served their time, but you wouldn't know it because these guys are productive citizens now. They're family, they're productive family men now. You know what I'm saying? They taking care of what they need to take care of. They ain't out there doing that shit that's gonna put them at risk. But man, other than that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ride out, man. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all for a little bit, man. I appreciate True Viking Queen pulling up, Sterling Young pulling up, and of course the Queen, True Viking. I appreciate you pulling up. Let me read that. Let me read this before I ride out. What you think? I hate to say calling shots and got bodied, but compared to the other games in ATL, he was pretty mild, but his fame made it worse. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fact. But the fact that they try to put this, Think Tank, I'm gonna say this: the fact that they try to put that nigga on in the trial. If you go, I don't know if you watched the trial, the bond trial, but that motherfucker defense, um, the I'm talking about the prosecutor. They tried to sit up there and put him on the level of the Gambino family. Let that fucking sink in. Let that sink in as what they trying to do. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. Like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Tell them, man, I get at y'all later.